is the frequency use.
It is now.
Yeah, very good. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. My name is Paul, Papa Alpha Uniform Lima. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Fine business. Emergency traffic is handled here, but if you really have an emergency, call 911 or your mother-in-law or both, and your brother-in-law. He owes you money. If you will just check in, call 911, and if you want to call, talk to us and chat in the meantime, you can do that too. But any emergency traffic will be permitted on the net at any time. Hasn't happened yet, ever, that I'm aware of, but it could. Let's see. For information on this net, you can watch us right now. Well, at least you can watch the screen on my radio. It's on Facebook. You can go to the search block and put my call in there, K4PEW on Facebook. Not Facebook, on YouTube. I say Facebook. I don't even have Facebook. On YouTube, and put my call in there, and it will bring up the channel, and you'll see the live thing going on here. You can also see our website at 146415.net, 146415.net, mysteriously like our frequency here. And you can also look us up on groups.io, groups.indie-oscar, and to sign up for our email stuff. And there's also on the front page, even if you're not a member, you can see all the stuff our non-club does or doesn't do. We have, we meet every Wednesday and Saturday night here at, what time? 8 o'clock. That's what time we meet. 8 o'clock every Wednesday and Saturday night on 146.415 FM. And the purpose of the net, which we've been doing now for 647 times, if my number is correct, for going on 7 years, is to have fun, to figure out who we can hear, who can hear us, kind of keep track of what's going on. And that's why the YouTube view is helpful, so you'll know that I'm not lying to you about who I'm talking to. I'm not ghost talking. You can see how your signal sounds. You can even go back later and hear yourself or other stations to figure out how you got to double the height of your antenna and buy another antenna. But we think it's a good resource for people with their, not just for the net, but just for your own general use. A lot of people have increased their capacity of their stations and increased power, made higher antennas, better antennas, and had a good time doing it, aside from getting arguments with the wife and the bank account. And it also helps hams serve the community better in an unusual event that they'd have to serve their neighbors, their family, and their community. But it has happened, and I'd rather have a whole cadre of hams well prepared to serve the neighborhood than a bunch of guys with the proverbial J-poles in the attic. All right, anybody, we invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events, but let me tell you the big events we have for tonight. First is that we have two nets tonight, the 2 meter on 146.415 where you are right now, and then we're going to move over to the 10 meter net on 28.415. And then tomorrow night at 7:30, there is a net on Simplex in Bowling Green. If you can reach Bowling Green, he has a very good signal to anyone who has a reasonably good elevation and height, or a beam, or both. I can routinely talk to him here from Mount Juliet, but then I'm in a relatively good elevation and have a reasonably good antenna, but I'm not using a beam. That's at 7:30. That's on 146.430, 146.430. And then 8 o'clock is the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club's information net on 147.105 with a plus offset in the 156.7 PL. Saturday is the ham get together at the park at 8 o'clock or whenever you decide to show up. Just coffee, and usually bring coffee, and somebody brings donuts, and we have a good time. Even in spite of COVID, of course, it depends on how cold it is. If it's really, really cold, I don't expect too many people. It's pretty cool last time. But we have a good time. It's a good time getting together. If you want to show up, it doesn't cost anything except gas to get over there. Does anybody have any other announcements or need clarifications? Oh, yeah, I'm glad you said that, Tony. I hadn't forgotten about it, but I forgot about it. Anyway, Santa Net, and that starts at, let me think, 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
Yeah, it starts at 7 o'clock. And it'll be on 146.430. It will be simulcast on 446. Well, I'm sorry, what did I just say? 146, 415. I don't know why I said 430. 146, dang, 146, 415, as well as 446, 415, as well as another repeater, I think, to be announced. Is that correct, Tom?
I don't know. That's still way up in the air, and one day it's up and one day it's down, so I don't know. I will make no promises.
Well, do this for me. If it doesn't come to fruition in the next little 10 days, let me know.
Sure enough. Somebody will have to let me know first, though.
All right, very good. I'm consider ours. I think some other alternatives, and I just don't want to jump in there and make arrangements unless we need to.
And we also have the YouTube channel, and we'll have a Zoom channel, which that information should go out in some form of a newsletter or something.
Oh yes, that's why. By the way, there will also be. I got to send out a notice on that. I'm glad you said that, Tom. I've been kind of out of sorts here recently. I don't know, since the first. Anyway, it would also be simulcast as we're doing tonight on YouTube on this channel. It will also be out on a Zoom channel to be announced, and that shall go out shortly. In fact, it'll probably go out tonight or tomorrow at the very latest. At any rate, it starts at 7. And by the way, I didn't say it starts on Christmas Eve, 7 o'clock, and for adults and children of all ages. I think your children particularly will like it. I find Tony very entertaining. He's got some new stuff going on with his characters, and I think the kids will really enjoy it. Anyway, any other additions or subtractions from the announcements? All righty, we shall move along. Like I said, this is net number 647. We're starting from the west. We do the we call it the lightning round check-ins, where we just look for your call, your name, and your location. And again, starting from the west, please come now.
Kilo November 4, Tango Juliet, Foxtrot, Rick in Ashland City.
Yeah, very good. You sound great there, Rick. That's Kilo November 4, Tango Juliet, Foxtrot. Yeah, I got that right. I did get that right, didn't I, Rick?
Yes, you did, sir.
Well, I jotted it down, and it looked like I had 2 J's in it. I don't know why. But anyway, that's Rick in Ashland City with a decent signal. But an S, it was bumping up against, I think, S3 here to me, so you sounded good. And that's a pretty good haul from Ashland City. Conditions have been good, though. Who else is west?
Mike and Belshire.
Very good, Mike. That's Michael and Belshire. I think you doubled with somebody. Hit me again with your call.
W14G.
Okay, very good. I just wanted to do this. Hold on one second, Jeff. Let me hit me again, Michael. What you sound like. You seem like you're a little low.
Well, there shouldn't be any reason for that. KM4YRS.
No, you're full scale. You're full scale. I just wanted to mess with you. No, it sounded low because I had the volume slightly lower, and I was expecting a louder signal from you. Anyway, that's Michael in Belshire, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, and I believe that was Jeff in WY4G in Madison. You doing all right, Jim?
Yeah, doing all right. Hanging out, recuperating, but I'm doing all right.
Not recuperating from work, I hope.
No, I had some minor surgery last Friday.
Okay. So you haven't been working this week? Or, well, see, this would be. Have you been working this week?
No, I couldn't work. I got stitches in both feet.
Yeah, that would make it a little rough. Well, I hope is it better now?
Oh yeah, I get those removed Friday, then see what it looks like from there.
All right, sounds good. I hope that gets better. That was Jeff in Madison, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, out of commission this week due to some minor surgery. Hope that gets better. Well, I hope it heals completely. Who else is west? And if I didn't copy anything there, who is west?
I'll jump in there. KG4 CXE, Chris and Dalton.
All righty. Was that you clicking on earlier?
No, I was just being patient again.
Oh, that's all right. It's Chris and Donaldson with his. Is that on the second floor antenna? It is, isn't it?
It is, and I think it's on the east side of this abode, farthest away from my brain. That's the house
It may very well be. It may very well be. And it's better than that dreaded J-pole.
It is.
Very good. That's Chris in Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-ray Echo. Good signal for an indoor antenna. He bought a good one that would fit between the ceiling and the floor in the corner of his house in the second floor. So it sounds good. You don't set it over in front of the window, do you?
No, it actually picks up less noise in a different location. I wish I could.
Ah, very good. All righty. Anybody else? Was there anybody else that's trying to check in that I couldn't hear?
JT4 LD, Jack and Donaldson.
Ah, very good, Jack. That wasn't you who was trying to check in, was it?
No, like Chris, I was waiting patiently.
Yeah, I heard somebody click in there, but maybe it was just somebody sat on their mic or something. All right, that was very good. That's Jack, who's also in Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else? Anybody else west? Please come now. Appreciate you guys checking in from Donaldson. Who else is west?
KO4 Hotel Sierra Delta, David in Bellevue.
Hey, David. Everything going well with you?
Yes, it is. I was kind of surprised that I was getting in. I had put a posting out there to kind of get some advice and stuff, but I guess I'm coming in.
Oh, no, you're doing fantastic. You're 10 over S9 and a good solid signal, great audio. Yeah, I was watching that exchange of things. There was a whole bunch of answers to your questions, which breezed by me, and I thought, I can hear him pretty good. I'm not sure what the problem is.
I'm in.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'm actually on high power right now. Is it a possibility of dropping down to mid power and trying transmission?
Yeah, go ahead, give it a shot. I think we need some interlude music here.
KO4 Hotel Sierra Delta.
Yeah, you're over S8, between S8 and S9 on that transmission. So you don't need full power to hit me over here. You're doing fine.
He went from 30 over down to S9 to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see, it's not that hard, was it?
No, makes it feel good. KO4, I guess.
Now, what was the finishing touch there? You've got that wire antenna in the attic. Is it what you have vertical?
I have a Comet GB1 in the attic.
Oh yeah, that'll do you just fine. And what's your elevation there in Belshire? I mean, not Belshire, but Bellevue.
PS shows 717.
Yeah, see, you're gonna do fine, really. I mean, I know it's in the attic, but you can see how well it's doing here. And if you got that up at or above your roof line outside, I think you'd be surprised at how. Of course, that's going to tell for you to tell over time what's better. But it sure would be nice to hear from you how well it did outside versus inside, because it does make a difference.
Yeah, I'm next net I can check in. I'm definitely going to try it outside. See how much more reception I can pick up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'll keep track of who you can hear. That would be one of the key elements there. But that's one of the problems. I know I went through that in my house where the short story is I said, man, this SWR really goes wacky with an antenna in the roof. And then I should know better. I've done a lot of construction things. And then I realized the real issue up there was in both ends of my house in the attic, there's aluminum faced insulation. And I'm thinking, well, that could really be the problem. A lot of signals are bouncing around up there like a microwave oven. Anyway, that was Kilo Oscar for Hotel Sierra Delta, David in Bellevue, and his antenna is working great up there in the attic to me. I mean, a good solid signal, and I'm pretty sure other stations could hear him well throughout the area. Who else is west?
1080 UT.
Hey, Carl, there's the man with the big antenna in Franklin.
Comment.
Go ahead, Richard.
If it weren't for my noise I've got this radio, I could have heard the other fella out of Bellevue.
Well, try another HT.
I'm going to try another 10. I'm tired of this. Okay, Apple West, I'll be back to net.
Very good. Carl, you doing all right?
Yes, sir. Doing good. Glad to hear David in there. He's sounding great.
Oh, no, he's really a Class A signal come out of an attic for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure it was better than my signal when I had my J-pole in that.
Yeah, I don't know. You're doing a good job, though.
Yeah, now after spending a lot of time and trouble and money getting where I am now. But yeah, all right, very good. That's Carl. He's in Franklin. He's in that 700 club, the Middle Tennessee 700 club with the X700 antenna. And you are being real happy with it, I take it.
Oh, yes, sir. Burned out a power supply the other night, but the antenna's doing great.
How'd you burn out a power? You mean the power, an external power supply?
Yeah, there's one on the radio. It just started humming every time I started transmitting.
Oh, gotcha. You just need what you have to do is you apply more power to it, more voltage.
Yeah. Oh, well.
All right, very good. Carl and Franklin, November 8th, November Uniform Tango. Who else is West?
Don in Smyrna.
I heard Don in Smyrna. Don, what's your call in Smyrna?
Whiskey 1 Kilo Lima X-ray.
All right, very good. Whiskey 1 Kilo Lima X-ray. There was a double in there, Don. Whereabouts are you in Smyrna?
Yeah, I'm south of Smyrna on Old Nashville Highway between Smyrna and Murfreesboro.
I'm asking because my memory doesn't have you called in before.
I have not. We have chatted informally with a couple of friends in Smyrna here, but never have checked in on the net. So this is my first time.
Oh, very good. My memory will. It was the quote, an old quote from I think it was Mark Twain that says his memory is so good that he remembers things that never even happened. And I was trying to think if you had talked. I had talked to you before, and since I see so many call signs over the last 6 or 7 years, and I've been here for 9, I sometimes forget if I talk to somebody. Hold on, Charles. I got you in there. A little shaky now. You're farther away, but I got you in there. Well, very good, Don. We're really happy you're there. How long have you been in the area?
I've been in Smyrna for about 40 years.
Oh, wow. So, okay, if you're from, I see, I lived in Tampa for about 37, so I became a Tampanian. So what is a Smyrna? Is it a Smyrnan?
I'm really not sure. I've heard lots of things, probably can't repeat.
Very good. No, I've never even thought about it. Yeah, Smyrna and that whole area grown like a weed, I'd say. You probably noticed it over the last 40 years.
It's not bad unless you want to get out on a road somewhere.
Yeah, if you're sitting in your yard enjoying the weather, yeah, but yeah, no, the traffic is. My wife stepped out this afternoon, late afternoon, around 4 o'clock, and she says it's like Manhattan out there on Mount Juliet Road. It's just jammed up with vehicles.
Very true. Well, thank you, Paul, for letting me check in tonight, and just good evening to everyone.
Very good. Anyway, it's Don, Whiskey 1 Kilo Lima X-ray. He's in Smyrna, long-time Smyrnian, I'll call it. Yeah, it was good to have you in there. It's always good to hear new people in there, and well, new to us anyway. But I did. Well, Charles, can you still hear me? Well, Charles checked in. He also checked in early, so I know he's out there. He may not, I don't know if he can hear me right now. He's on an HT and a mag mount on his car, and he was heading north, I think. So farther he gets away, he sounded good when he was in here earlier, but not so much. I just heard him barely breaking the squelcher, and that's Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot 5 watts on a HT and a mag mount. Who else is West? Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell everybody that I was thanking Michael, KM4YRF, for taking over the net this past Saturday night. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'm back to semi-normal, I guess. Now, I'm not sure what normal is for me. Well, anybody else west or south?
Kilo Oscar 4, Juliet November, Yankee, Carlos Henderson.
Hold on, Carlos. I would call on you at north, really, but I'll take your call. How you doing, Carlos? Are you in the park tonight?
No, just sitting in the driveway of my house, my truck. Goodbye. It's Carl, KK4U2S, Glayfield.
Oh, okay. Hold on, Carl. I was you had a double in. I don't. You may not be able to hear Carlos, so you may have thought I was talking to you. Anyways, it's KK4 UTS. Hold on one second, Carl. Yeah, we were in the park this past Saturday over there. That's a very nice park, that Sanders Fair.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I go fishing there a lot. There's a couple little spots that I like to go to, and I caught a good amount there.
Ah, cool. Yeah, no, I was so surprised. It's a huge park. You could have a music event in that park and fill it with 50,000 people.
Funny you mentioned that because they actually do those little concerts. Like some of the schools do it, and then I know there's a lot of. I don't know. I think just a couple of weeks ago they had the the state championship for cross country, and they had it all blocked up, and there was people running and everything. So they do quite a lot of events there.
Huh. Yeah, that's a pretty skinny little entry road to have a lot of events.
Yes, yes. There's a lot of blind turns in there.
So I wouldn't want to be walking around a bicycle going to those events.
No, actually, yeah, they have a trail that goes from the end of the park to like the entrance of my subdivision. It like ends right there. It's running parallel, so it's actually nice to you can walk your dog and everything. I walk my dog there all the time. It's a nice little walk and nice little trail run.
Yeah, that's the first time I've been on that close to the water in Hendersonville, and I can see Mount Juliet on the other side of the lake. And it's the first time I've ever even seen it. I've been here for 9 years.
Yeah, it has some nice views. I like it. It's definitely within reach. I think on Saturday, what I'm gonna try to do is gonna try to check in with my HT instead of my radio, my mobile, and see how I can reach you guys. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to reach you guys, no problem.
Oh, I think you will. Well, anyway, that was Carlos, Kilo Oscar 4 Juliet November Yankee in Hendersonville. Good signal. Yeah, try that HT. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to hear you. Carl, haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing?
Glad to hear you back on the airwaves. The Smyrna night or Smyrnia night there. I've been down there working for I guess the company that built that city down there doing some evening work, driving cars on the back lot. Pretty fascinating, and it turns out it's a foreign trade zone. So if you slip up down there, you go into the federal lockup. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I've been doing a little night work, so I miss you guys. But unfortunately, Arecibo, and you guys know I used to live down in St. Thomas. I never made it over there, but there's been movies, and obviously the Ham Club. I think we had some Ham folks go down years ago. But I hate to see it fall, but I'd be curious to know if there's any new technology that any of the fellow Ham folks think that might surpass the capabilities of that Earth-based technology. And then also, it looks like SpaceX had a bad day today.
Yeah, I heard something about that. I didn't follow that up, but no, did you see that link that was sent out on the reflector here about they had that both the drone footage and the control footage for the when the whole thing crashed in there. I think it was the 1st of December, and then they had a mechanical engineer who and an astronomer. He might be both. Maybe he's just an astronomer, but he was very familiar with the site, and he was giving us a slow motion analysis of how it broke and why it broke.
I did, and the drone guy was excellent. What's interesting is you could see the cable snap and unravel, and more importantly, you could hear actually what was going on. And so Arecibo's a town or a province or whatever they call it down there. But just to see that whole thing happen, and when we look at it from satellite views or from remote spaces, it seems to be like your direct TV dish. But the whole thing was mesh, and the gaps in there were pretty coarse. You could fall right through it. Fascinating, old technology, but it worked.
Well, it even said the other ones, even the larger, and I don't know where that larger one is. It says it didn't have the capacity of what Arecibo did.
Well, yeah, and I think the larger one is really more of a mesh. Now, I could be wrong and open this up to
No.
anybody correctly, but I think our larger telescopes are really more logical than physical, and we have an array of robotic smaller scopes that kind of make up the big picture.
I guess that Arecibo, it's like you're a little bit younger than me, but I grew up thinking that Arecibo was the greatest thing on the earth for NASA.
Well, I actually agree. I'm only 15, 20 minutes younger than you. But, so yeah, and then SpaceX, apparently one of the rockets didn't do so good. The spaces, again, I'd open this up for discussion, but the new spaces are just absolutely fascinating compared to the old stuff we had.
Yeah, I hope they are. I mean, obviously they make gains, but maybe they're cheaper than the original one.
Made in China. I don't know. You're probably right.
Very good. That was Carl in Gladeville having some fun with the Arecibo. Well, not fun, discussing the Arecibo accident. It's too bad that happened, but it was, you know, it was going on, I think, 60 years old, and I don't know. I would expect it to have lasted longer, but it had damage, from what I understand, from when that hurricane went through the island a year or two ago, and that was just, I think, subsequently what happened was the continuing damage. Anyway, who else is south or west?
Gladeville.
Send you down there with a soldering iron and 4,000 pounds of solder. You could fix it right up, couldn't you, Eddie?
Yeah, a lot of aluminum foil. I'll need a bunch of that too.
I'll tell you. Everything going well for you?
Yeah, just trying to stay healthy and keep from getting the COVID there. No too many people have got it.
Yeah, I just found out the guy who lives behind me, he's, I think, in his 80s. He got COVID, and I guess he's recovering. I don't know the fellow. I only met him one time, but he owns a whole bunch of property behind me, and yeah. But again, I really don't even think it's predictable how you get it. You know, even if you were wearing a mask, I don't think you could prevent it if you were walking around touching stuff. You know.
Yeah, very true. But in this age group, you gotta kind of watch out. Well, thanks for doing that, and Michael did a good job last week. W4BS.
Oh yeah, he always does. He's a good man. Man with the plan. No, he does a nice job. Does a nice job on the 10 meter nut on Sunday nights as well at 7:30 and 28.415. Who else is next? Yeah, he was unable to do the 6 meter nut. We got to get over, help him fix that 6 meter antenna. Because he had, I think, Donnie, you did that, and I understand you did a good job on that. Who else is south?
KR48.
Hold on, I think I heard K4 Alpha Lima. Hold on there, Alan. KR4AZ, Tim in Murfreesboro. Everything all right?
Yes, sir. Doing good. He's talking about that virus. I think the definition is virus. Some way or another, we're probably all going to touch it somehow or another. So, or it's going to touch us, kind of like the flu. I don't believe none of us got out there and not had some form of a flu bug. So, just try to keep the one, like I said, real vulnerable, safe as we can. But it's trying to live just like we are, and it's going to morph, I guess. So, just have to stay safe.
Well, I guess the answer to it is, I'm not sure what the answer is. I mean, ultimately, it's like any flu, I think. Again, I'm not a flu, you know, I don't know those things. But the fact is, in public health, when we have a normal flu that goes around, and my wife and I both got it a few years ago, and it was terrible. But I don't know that I could have stopped it. You know, if you're gonna, I just don't have any idea knowing, and we don't. I presume even during a normal flu season that the hospitals get jammed up with patients, and this one probably has more patients, and that's the problem. Is the real issue is trying to keep the hospitals from being flooded with people who were sick and dying.
Yep, that's right. Well, all right, Paul. I know you got them.
Lima, excuse me. Well, you're 40 over here, Alan. I'm sorry. I was looking at the L and I thought I wrote a Z and it didn't make sense to me. Kilo Romeo for Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. Your signal strength is excellent at 40 over. Your audio is muffled and almost unreadable. Yeah, if you look at the YouTube feed at 30 minutes or so after, you'll hear that audio, how muffled it sounds. Yeah, it is a little messed up. I don't know what it is, but it's you can hear it. You'll obviously the signal is going to be great on that remote base there in Hermitage, but the audio is really messed up. All right, anyway, that's Alan. That's Kilo 4 Alpha Lima, and he's operating off a remote base. It's in Hermitage, and you can probably all hear it very well, but the audio is kind of crappy. Who else is Sal?
Yeah, 4KFQ. Kilo Oscar 4 Hotel Victor Hotel.
Hey, hold on 1 second, Victor Hotel. I was concentrating on Tony's call and writing it down, and I didn't catch yours. So anyway, Tony, everything good with you?
The older I get, the earlier it gets late.
Yeah. If they get, I'm not so much worried about the flu, the virus, the any other, but I just would love if they could come up with a cure for the arthritic pains.
Yeah, I remember I used to be able to get up without making sound effects.
Don't get me started. I wake up about 5 times a night because of arthritis issues, and the last thing I want to do is take a lot of pain pills, which I will not do. And I guess I'm really looking forward to surgery.
I got a possible suggestion on the muffled audio. If he's got like a Heil microphone or something like that, it's not a clamshell microphone. If he's not talking directly, basically into the top of the microphone, if he's talking to the side, those microphones are so highly directional, it may be nulling him out.
Oh yeah, no. In his case, though, I know he's got a good microphone on his end. Alan is no slouch when it comes to this, what his system is, and he's got something going on with, and he's operating the remote base through a internet connection, so something's messed up.
Okay, well, everybody check into the Santa Net. Don't just sit there and listen. We got Bruce the Elf will be back, of course. Miss Bessie will have deer in her yard, I'm sure, again this year. And we've got a new character this year, Chester, the backup reindeer. He never quite gets to fly with the main team, so he's got issues. So everybody, everybody listen, but everybody check in.
All right, very good. Looking for check-ins on the Santa Net, 7 o'clock on New Year's and Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, 7 o'clock. It'll be right here on 146 415 or 446 415. Who else besides Tony? Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo Foxtrot Quebec in Smyrna. Who else is Sal?
Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Victor Hotel. Roger in Hendersonville.
Roger, would you do me a favor? There was a double in there because KG4SFF was trying to check in again. He doesn't realize he checked in because he couldn't hear me before. Say your call again, please, Roger.
Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Victor Hotel.
Very good, Roger. That time I got it. Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Victor Hotel. You're located in where? I forget.
So I'm located right in Gallatin, Hendersonville, Gallatin, White House in that triangle.
Ah, okay. The northern sector.
Yeah, that's the other side up there.
Yeah, no, I get it. Very good, Roger. Good to have you in there. Is it getting cool up there tonight?
Yeah, it feels great tonight. Enjoyed meeting you the other night at the Bible Net and down in Saunders Ferry, and really had a nice time.
Yeah, that was very nice. A little cool at first, but it was all right.
Yeah, I guess those hunters they can do it, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, very good. Well, you noticed the park wasn't exactly jam-packed with people.
Yeah, I saw a few as it warmed up, moving around, but yeah, most people are not going to get out in 35 degrees.
Yeah, that's right. And a slight breeze. Anyway, that's Roger in Gallatin. Well, up north, between White House and Gallatin, that whole sector up there in the north. Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Victor Hotel. Who else is south or east? Well, let's leave it with south. Any more south?
W0GZR, Mark in Nashville. Tom in Rockville. Hello, Paul. Kilo India 4, November, Delta, November.
All right, we got 3 in there. I had Mark. Kilo Whiskey 0, Golf Zulu Romeo. You doing well, Mark?
I'm alive and well. You betcha.
All right, very good. You have good signal as always. Of course, you're relatively close to me. That's Whiskey 0, Golf Zulu Romeo. Ed Tom in Rockville. And TM, I go backwards. Whiskey. It's Whiskey 4 Tango Mike.
It's Kilo Mike for Tango Mike, Paul. KM for TM.
Yeah, you can tell why I'm not a psychic.
We got good conditions tonight, Paul. You're it's 9 plus 20, so it's looking good. And Tony there, he's full scale from Smyrna. That's I think these X700s just really like to talk to each other.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're tuned for each other. They like to do that.
Well, good evening to everyone in the net. So back to you, Paul. 73 KM410.
Yeah, very good. That was Tom in Rockville. Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike. And then I had David in Reedyville. Kilo India 4 November Delta November. Everything well, David?
Oh, good evening, Mr. Paul and everybody on the net. Sorry about the doubling there, but anyway, everything's well here. And good evening. I appreciate everything you're doing, sir.
Yeah, very good. Just having fun, I guess, is what we're doing. Because we started out having fun and ended up having more fun than I expected when I started this whole shebang. Anyway, that's David in Reedyville. Kilo India 4 November Delta November. Instrumental in the Rutherford Aries Simplex operation in, out of Rutherford County, south of us. Anyway, who else is south?
Kilo 4 Oscar, Fox Oscar.
All right. I think is Charles still trying to check in again? Anybody else here, Charles?
Yeah, K4IDC. I heard him, and OFO is checking in.
Oh no, I easily heard Donnie, Robin, but I guess Charles can't hear me verifying his check-in, which I've done 2 or 3 times already. All right, I hope you can hear me, Charles. You are checked in, but only once. All right, very good. Good to have you in there, Charles. I know you were mobile and you got a good signal for 5 watts, I'll tell you. Anyway, Donnie, you doing all right?
Good, fine. Good, fine. Appreciate it.
Very good. That's Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar, and Hermitage south of me. And Robin, you're each blowing each other eardrums out over there across the road, are you, Robin?
You and he are both 40 over.
I would expect that. I would expect that. Of course, I can remember when you weren't 40 over. You were about 4 over with your old Ed Fong antenna.
Yep, Wang Chung.
Well, I should talk. I'm the one who had the J-pole in the attic.
Trying to call it that.
I didn't expect it to be a big net, Robin. Give me a break. Really, I mean, I wanted with some people in Mount Juliet. I didn't care about you people down in Hermitage.
That's right. The slum.
No, hardly the slums. If that's the slums, I'm going to go buy about 40 acres. Anyway, that's Robin. It was Donnie in Hermitage. Hermitage, and Robin in Hermitage also right nearby. Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie, and Donnie's was Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot Oscar. Anybody else south?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Very good. We got Larry and everything going with you?
Yeah, we're doing good, man. Appreciate what you do.
Sounds good. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, Larry in Rockville. Always a good signal. Who else south?
Whiskey Victor 4 Delta, Ken, and Smyrna.
Ken, have I talked to you before?
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I know. I've been laying low the last couple of days, if you noticed.
That's okay, Paul. I appreciate what you do on the net. Everybody appreciates it, and you do a good job.
Yeah, except for the guys down there in that North Alabama repeater who can't stand us.
Well, they were blowing through this morning.
You didn't catch the call on the repeater, did you?
I did not. It just kept, just about the time the repeater would ID, it would fade out. I never could catch it.
Well, I even thought about driving down there to northern Alabama and just sitting there listening so I can get the call on it.
Oh,
Yo.
still got that PCR 100 receiver, I thought.
That ICOM one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a recording application that you can download and run in conjunction with that piece of hardware, and it will start recording when the squelch is broken. Hook it up to your Yagi and point to Yagi file.
All right. Yeah, I think I knew it had that function. The difficulty here, because it's on 415, that thing would be recording endlessly.
Well, the repeater is supposed to ID every 10 minutes, so turn it on when you go to bed, turn it off when you get up the next morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, I know what you're saying, Robin. You're right. And that'd be a great way to. In fact, I thought about doing that. Just sticking my, my other computer and putting just recording the output on the speaker here. But the problem is that it's only heard even reasonably well, which isn't all that great. Sometimes in the morning. Sometimes it's not all the time. Like this morning, it was on there. I think it was this morning. It was yesterday morning. I don't remember, one of these mornings. You hear it, but then other mornings, I don't hear it at all.
All right. Sorry, I'm out of good ideas.
No, that was a good idea. You're absolutely right. I'd love to be able to do that because there is no actual resolution to a pirate repeater that's operating outside of the repeater spectrum, or the area of the band. And I talked to everybody in Alabama I could talk to that was important. Plus, I had a communication with the ARRL director for that area, and he says, we don't have any control. I said, I know you don't. I'm just looking for somebody, some influence to tell them, hey, act like real hams and get over where you belong.
Yeah, I get it. I'm trying to be diplomatic. There are devices that'll start transmitting when they hear a certain frequency. You build one of those that listens to the output and transmits on the input. Now the cat's got its tail in its own mouth and can't turn loose.
But then, even though he's errant, I would be considered doing malicious interference on somebody else's when he's got an inherent ability to transmit in this band, aside from the fact that it's a repeater. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be maliciously interfering with an active QSO.
But you'd have to be around. You're not going to put your call sign on the thing.
But then I'd be falling in the same category as him and some other weirdos we know.
Well, one of two things will happen. The timeout timer will take over and the machine will go off the air for a while, or it'll get so hot it'll burn to the ground.
I'm with you. I just want him to move. That would be the best thing to do. Go get a 70 centimeter pair and call it a day.
Find the coax, a drywall screw, and a cordless screwdriver and take care of it.
Yeah, I know some people who can get that done.
Magadino?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Vinny. All right, we're trying to resolve a silly problem with a repeater. They're on the same frequency as us, at least on the output. All right, we had Ken. He's in Smyrna. Whiskey Victor 4 Delta, who has got a really great signal out of Smyrna. Who else is south? Going from east, then. Please come on.
Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. James in Mount Juliet.
All right, James, got you in there. You're sounding good as always. Do you monitor much during the day?
I just occasionally now and then.
Nah, just curious. I don't think you'd hear that repeater because you're relatively low elevation and on the other side of the hill, so I don't think you can hear that very well. But if you had your antenna outside up 20 feet, you'd hear it.
Inside, probably about 11 feet high.
What'd you say about 11 feet high?
Well, the house is probably about 3 feet above the ground level, and then I'm probably 9 feet inside the house. I'm about 11 feet.
Yeah, 11 feet's not too good. You can hear me fine, and I can hear you fine. And you do get out good to the south and the north, so you're not doing too shabby.
I put my 3 radios back on, too.
Oh, do you think it had any difference?
I hear more people around Mount Juliet now.
Ah, very good. Well, anyway, that was James here in Mount Juliet. Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. Who else is east?
KK4 JZI. John, Mount Juliet.
Hey, John. You doing all right tonight?
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I had a chance to check in, but yeah, I just wanted to get on tonight, say hello to everyone, and sounded good.
Yep, you're sounding full scale here to me. Yeah, as you know, we don't have any rules about how often you have to check in or not check in. In fact, we have a standing awards there on the groups.io page about if you miss a month's worth of nets, you actually get you get an email congratulating you, and there's another one, you get a plaque if you miss a whole year.
Well, something to shoot for, right?
Hey, Yeah, well, see, that the point is you don't get any participation trophies for showing up either.
I'll keep that in mind.
Very good. That was John here in Mount Juliet. Kilo 4, Juliet, Zulu, India. Who else is in north or east? Excuse me, east.
KE4TWI.
All right, west. You can't hear that repeater, huh?
No, I thought just occurred to me, if we somehow had a Simplex group in the repeater band, could you imagine the outcry that would happen? Just think about the hurt feeling.
Oh, not only that, if they could complain and have me lose the license.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So fact is that they're out of area. So if you're out of area, if you're going to play on the road, well, you can't complain about the cars. So that's my perspective. KE4TW.
I get what's funny is it's a very gray area because let's say I complain as net control to the FCC about them. I'm not sure they take action since, like I said, all they're doing is having an active QSO, and then there's an argument about who's interrupting who. Since the FCC does not judge on, the gentleman's agreement about where the bands are.
Right. No, I say let them deal with it. We'll just have to keep sending them emails, remind them.
Well, I think maybe finding somebody who has a good connection to the to call in an airstrike. That would do it. An airstrike. Maybe yeah, I think a smart bomb would be a little too expensive. I don't know. All right. That was Wes in just north of near Watertown. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Anybody else east?
For SOR and just go ahead and put a Moab on top of them.
A Moab? Yeah, there you go. That's a little overkill, though. That might wipe out most of northern Alabama.
So.
Well, yeah, nobody'd miss it.
That's right. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I'll turn it back over to you. Bye.
Very good. That was Richard, Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo, and his bride, Stephanie, Kilo India 4 Sierra Oscar Romeo. Anybody? By the way, is anybody here from Ray up in Cottontown? Well, I guess not. I'm about to give him a call. I haven't heard from him in I don't know how long, a week or 2 weeks. And he's usually on the air. Maybe, I hope he's all right. I know he had some blood pressure problems, so I don't really know. In case anybody finds out, let me know. And who else is east? There was a double in there, but I caught Stan very well. That's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Everything well with you, Stan? Oh, as I get older, I get better and worse, depending on which day it is.
Yeah, it depends on the weather. Can I agree? About when it changes about the gold.
Oh, I know. I have the similar issues. Anyway, that's Stan in just north of downtown Lebanon. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is east?
W4TFZ.
All right, I heard W4TFZ. There was a double in there, but hold on to double. How are you doing there? I'll get your name in a second. Hang on. W4TFZ is, oh man, it's terrible when you got Alzheimer's.
Yes, Gary.
Yes, Gary, I couldn't bring your name to mind. I'm sorry about that.
No problem. I was playing with the rig control off the computer there a minute ago, and it kind of dropped my power down a little bit.
You're doing all right. You're 20 over here. You're doing fine. Yeah, how you been? I haven't heard from you in a little while.
I've just been busy a lot. Here lately, I haven't been able to get back in here in that time frame where I'll get to doing something and it's almost over with by the time I remember it. And just having to remember to kind of log in tonight and holler at everybody and say hello. All
right, very good. That's Kerry. He's over there in, what do we call in that area? Near Chicken Road? What do we call that?
Officially, the area listed is Barrett's Mill, but it's got a Lebanon address. But hey, by the way, you talking about that repeater dinner? Did you get that email I sent you about 3 or 4 weeks ago about that repeater, the repeater association and
I don't know. I don't remember anything from you on that. I mean, I knew that they were part of that repeater council. I think it's called the Northern Alabama Repeater Council, I believe. But they don't have any control over it.
It was the Southern Repeater Association was the one that I was finding was authorizing that, and there were several others that, and they're authorizing it themselves. They're not affiliated apparently with the ARL or sending any information into the FCC was kind of the way I was reading it.
Well, the Southern Repeater Council does not cover Alabama.
Yeah, it was the Southern Repeater Association is what it was.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I've got their, I got one of their books here. I'll have to look again. I didn't see it in there, but it could be in there. But I don't think that's the. Hold on, the official journal of the Southeastern Repeater Association, I believe, is the Southeastern. Yeah, Repeater Association. SERA. Is that the one you're talking about?
That may be them. Of course, I'd have to go back and look through my old emails to try to find what I found. But those 2 or 3 different links I found on some stuff that I sent you one Sunday morning about that.
Well, even if they did approve it, because when I talked to the people where they live, that in Alabama, they said that no, they didn't. If it got authorized, it was authorized before they, the guy who was the repeater coordinator for the council or whatever they call themselves. So yeah, I'm just glad it doesn't happen a lot. It only happens sometimes during conditions. It's not, and usually it's manageable. Usually.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, let's back off on that Moab. I still got family and friends down there in North Alabama. Thank you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would take out too much collateral damage. Other ham antennas would come down.
Yeah, the shockwave might take down a bunch of them up here.
Oh, I know that. Anyway, that's Kerry. He is in what is commonly known, at least there, as Baird's Mill. That's Whiskey 4 Tango Foxtrot Zulu. Who else is east? All right, hold on, Earl. There was another station that you partially covered up. KD8. Who is that?
KD8RRO.
Hey, how you doing, Kirby? Ain't heard from you in a little bit. You doing all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I decided not to check in tonight there. I heard y'all on YouTube. I figured I would keep this little mobile and see if I could make it.
Oh, you did fine. Where are you mobile?
Oh, I'm just outside the house here, or whatever, trying this little radio out.
Okay, very good. You're doing well, and every family getting adjusted out there in LaGuardia?
Oh, yeah. Copy that there. Yeah, we're doing good out here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was just I was just talking to a guy who lost his house in that same path. He's just a little bit east, right in that path there in the north, on Catalpa Drive here. And he's the one he lost his house. In fact, he was getting ready to pour the foundation for a new home.
Oh, copy that there. Yeah, I hate to hear that. But I hope he's doing well, and I hope they're adjusting wherever they're at.
Yeah, I know. In fact, I told him about, I didn't know if he remembered that you had been, highlighted on the TV about your problems there. But he said, oh, man, he goes, I understand why you moved them.
Oh, yeah, copy that there. Yeah, we're happy where we're at now, for sure.
Yeah, very good. And I'm glad everybody's safe, with your family. What a mess that was. Anyway, that's Kirby. He's in LaGuardia, Kilo Delta 8, Romeo Oscar. And I heard Earl in there, Kilo Echo 4, Delta Echo Zulu. You doing all right, Earl?
Yeah, buddy. I get there like a hair in a biscuit.
And you know what? Every time everybody says that hair in a biscuit, which it was not I never heard that term in Florida, and I never heard the term in New York. But now every time I get a biscuit, I look for hairs.
Well, sometimes that's a good thing to do. I just being the time of season of the year is been reviewing my aspect of outward yoga and what to do, just checking for those hairs, because sometimes you don't know they're there until it's too late.
Oh, I know. That doesn't really matter. I probably eat more hair and other things that I don't even know about, so I don't get paranoid about it. And I know you being in the military, if the food's set in front of you, you ain't exactly looking for flies in there either. You just eat what you serve.
Comment.
Hey, go ahead, Richard.
Depending on where you get your biscuits, how much you have to worry about the hair.
Remember, I got 5 dogs.
Yeah, nobody
wears hair nets no more. They wear face masks.
Yeah, at least it won't be mustache hairs, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, very good. I had Earl in there, and he's in Noreen over there east of the Cedars of Lebanon Park. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Was there another station east?
The northeast camp.
Hold on, W4. That was a little light on the signal. Say that again.
W4 LSA.
Ah, very good. W4 Lima Sierra X-ray, and I believe I forgot your name.
Daniel, don't ask how I got out of line there. I didn't know if northeast counted or not. Thought I was going to jump in and say hello.
Oh, very good. Yeah, you're in Wilson County, right?
No, sir. I'm up here in Lake County. I'm all the way up here where y'all got to pop in the sunshine.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. They're way up in Lake County. Anyway, that's Whiskey 4 Lima Sierra X-ray. I'm glad you can hear us. How much power do you run up there?
50.
How many?
50.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 550. I was going to say, wow, that's quite a bit. I've never met anybody with that much power on 2 meters. No, you sound good for being where you are. That's Danny, Whiskey 4 Lima Sierra X-ray, Lake County. Who else is east?
Congrats, member 4 Juliet Alpha Victor, Allen and Lebanon.
Okay, November 4 Juliet Alpha Victor Allen, right?
That's correct, and it's not LaGuardia. It's LaGuardia. You're in the south.
Is it really? Is that the way to pronounce it? I don't think I had a correction before, but if they do pronounce it LaGuardia.
It's Lagado. LaGuardia. I've been here for, I don't know, I've got aunts and uncles that live out there, and that's what we've always called it anyway. Yeah, call it what you need to.
No, that's good. I've been here 9 years, okay, in Tennessee. Love it here. I really do. But it cracks me up because as recently as a few weeks ago, one of the guys here who grew up in Mount Juliet, he says, it cracks me up every time you say Lebanon when it's Lebanon.
Comment.
Hey, good.
I tell people that too. In my business, I have to call a lot of people out of state, and they go Lebanon, and I'm going, no, Lebanon is in the Middle East. This is Lebanon. Comment.
Wait a minute, Richard. If that's true, they ought to go through the procedures of taking out the middle vowel, and then it would be Lebanon.
Let Richard have it. I know he's got something to say.
Very good. Richard, what do you want?
It's Lagado, Lebanon, laugh at it, Glade Vegas, Mid Europe. We've torn these names up all over the place. And they're to the fella down there in LaGuardia. If you know where Burton Road is, that's my ancestry.
Oh, cool. The other one is, though, I keep hearing it pronounced that down there in Smyrna. I will hear what appear to be native Tennesseans saying Smyrna, and I'm not sure why.
Smyrna.
Say again. Wait a minute, Richard. Hold on.
Smyrna.
No, it's a great name. It's just I hear different pronunciation.
Folks, I'm going to tell you what an English teacher told me one time, years when I was back in elementary school. There's no such thing as a correct or incorrect way to pronounce any word in the American language because it's all a derivative of another bunch of languages. So say it any way you want to. It ain't going to hurt nobody's feelings, but narrow-minded folks. K-I-4-S-I-B, shut up.
It's hard to mess up Nashville, though. Well, Nashville's already messed up, but the name is hard to mispronounce.
Question.
Yeah, question.
Next.
Are people from Lebanon called Lebanese?
Not in Tennessee, I don't think they're Lebanese.
Well, all right. Lebanese.
Yeah, that's what I was saying is, when you get, for instance, I live near Buffalo where I grew up, but people in Buffalo, the name would be Buffalonians. I grew up in Niagara Falls, and I don't think we had a name. Niagara Fallsians, Niagarans, I think is what it was supposed to be, Niagarans. And when I was in Tampa, it was Tampanians. But like I said, in Smyrna, it would be Smyrnians, Smyrnanians.
People from Lebanon, we just call dummies.
I don't want to. Listen, the same kind of people that are in Lebanon are in Mount Juliet. So I don't think the stone's going to get thrown too far.
Just put it blanketed. Everybody in Wilson County would call dummies.
Oh, I don't know. I think we're the smart ones that don't live in Davidson. Michael, you had something?
Oh, it wasn't me, Paul.
Oh, who was it that called in?
Whiskey Victor 4 Delta. Paul, the people that born and raised around here calls it Smyrna. People that moved in and don't know how to pronounce it call it Smyrna.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. But again, it doesn't have to make sense. That's why, when I come here and I said, where in Lafayette do you live? And he goes, it's Lafayette. Okay, whatever. Anyway, let me move on. We had Alan here in Mount Juliet, November 4, Juliet Alpha Victor. Alan, where are you exactly? I know I've asked you this before.
I'm in Lebanon. I'm about a mile west of the square off of West Main.
Ah, okay, very good. I'm sorry about that, Alan. I forgot that's where you were, in Lebanon. Yeah, no, I like Lebanon. I like it. Did they? Okay, you did they do anything with the statue in the square in Lebanon?
Not yet.
No. I'm just asking because my wife says I think they took it down. I said no, I don't think they did. I think they might end up with a little bit of a firefight as a result of that.
Yeah, that's gonna get real ugly if that happens.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm serious. They just need to leave it alone. I wish they left them all alone. I just heard today or yesterday they changed two schools in schools' names. I think it was in Virginia, but I'm not sure. And they changed it. There was Thomas Jefferson High School and then James Madison High School, both, writers of the Constitution, and they changed the names. I think we're going to have to change all of our school names now to public school number 1 through 1000 or whatever, because this is getting silly.
Yeah, a lot of head scratching going on right there.
Well, it's just silly, just downright silly, because in other words, we'd have to take down all statues and remove all awards from everybody who ever lived, because as far as I can see, everybody has some flaws, and I don't think that we want to talk about all of them. Well, you know what I'm getting at. It just seems silly. Anyway, even our greatest leaders in the universe, in the world, are flawed. Anybody from Gandhi to any of our presidents, they're all flawed people, and they all have issues, and you'll get arguments about every one of them, whether they did good or bad, and it just gets silly. And I don't care if they were, I don't care who they were that we build monuments to. They shouldn't be tearing them down because they're not yours. Anyway, anybody else, any place, anywhere east? That I started out in the west, so I didn't get to north yet. North, please come now.
KC6HWR. Good evening, Paul. I hope you're feeling better.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing fine, Darcy. I did hear you calling, I think that was today, but I was busy doing something else and I couldn't break away from it. But I did hear you in there.
Yeah, I figured you did. I was going to share a little something with you. Go ahead and continue with your net, and we'll talk another time. That way you can move along down the road. I'll be listening in.
Very good. That was Darcy. Kilo Charlie 6 Hotel Whiskey Romeo. Darcy, you're, I forget where you're. North, but I forget where.
Well, if it's easier for you to remember White House, you can, but I'm just in Cottontown, north of White House.
Oh, yeah, Cottontown's easy enough. I've been there. I might have been through White House. I don't get up in that area much, but I liked it up there. It was pretty when I went up there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it is. It's a really beautiful day today.
Yeah, very good. And again, Darcy in Cottontown, Kilo Charlie 6, Hotel Whiskey Romeo. Who else is north?
KB9RKK.
Thanks for hanging in there, Frank. You doing all right?
Yeah, doing good. Doing good. Just working back from home again because of the COVID thing.
Yeah, so you're not doing any remote fixes, huh?
Hell, yeah, I mean, that's how we always are, is really remote till we're tech support, but yeah. But I was going to add something to the whole repeater thing. I did find this group that calls themselves the Alabama Frequency Coordination and Repeater Advancement Society, and according to their band plan, Antisira's 146, 415, basically 400, 415, all the way to 525 is alternative repeater inputs, not outputs though.
Oh boy, yeah, I don't get it. It seems to me that guy has a one, I think a 1,000. It's not a 600 offset; it's a 1,000.
Correct. Yeah, it's actually one of the. It's 147,415 is the input. Is the output. I'm sorry, 146,415 is the input. 123, and it's one of the uh, Aries repeaters. And I was looking, and they're all over. They're all over. They're in Florida. There's a lot of places that are using 415 as an input.
Yeah, well, it's still wrong.
Well, I know. That's why I always talk at 535 because it steers clear of that. But I agree with everybody. But I'm just saying that's why they have it listed as an alternate, and it says simplex with an asterisk in the band plan, and it says as long as you're not interfering with repeaters because this is also repeater.
Yeah, I don't get that. They're just trying to skirt the idea that there's a place for repeaters in the band, and there's not enough room for all of them.
Considering I never hear anybody on them, that's stuff every once in a while, like during the net.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't get it. I just don't get that idea that they can go wherever they please when in fact there's a band plan that's already laid out. Of course, I've only said that 100 times.
Yeah, I know. But we can't do the Moab, keep the mother of all bonds. Can't do it. Too much collateral damage. Precision strike on the tower, maybe.
Well, if that does happen, I want to be the first guy in there selling hearing aids.
Yeah. No, you guys are cracking me up about the towns. I would think they would be called Lebanites because it ends with an N, and a lot of times when it ends with an N, that's how they abbreviate it.
Yeah, no, a Lebanonian. How about that?
Yeah, that's kind of hard to say. Yeah, but I don't know. What would you call us here? And I always crack up when my sister-in-law, who's from Chicago, says I live in Mount Juliet, and I'm like sitting there going, yeah, you won't say that here.
No. In fact, my mother, when I talked to her, I said I moved to Mount Juliet, and she goes, "How's it spelled?" And I said, Juliet. She goes, "No, it's Juliette." I said, "I just told you how it was spelled."
Yeah. Well, Richard's right. I've seen something from the old times, black and white stuff on YouTube explaining that, and it was very interesting. They took people from all over the country back then and had them repeat the same words and how they say it, and basically they're all correct. It's just because of their history, where they come from, and one of the biggest ones that always cracks me up is in Michigan, they have a town that's called Charlotte. Now it's spelled Charlotte, and it's named after a woman called Charlotte, but don't dare call it Charlotte.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's that way. There's something like that. Several, I'm sure, in every state in the union. It's like that with names that you think there's. Like I said, in near Houston County in Georgia, Houston. I was talking to one of my counterparts who lived in that area, and I said, it looks like it's in Houston County. He goes, it's Houston. I said, it's spelled Houston. He goes, to you. I go, well, why is it Houston? He goes, because that's a family name, and that's what they call it.
Yeah, I know. And, and unless you're from there, like I can tell you with 100% for sure, no argument, there is thousands upon thousands of Italian people in the United States that pronounce their name wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong. But when it comes to Charlotte, there's a reason why. It was the guy who started the town called it after his wife Charlotte, but the people that inhabited the town were all Russian descendants. They couldn't pronounce it, so the name stuck.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm sure we could come up with dozens in every state in the union that are spelled or pronounced differently than what they're intended, or the way they're supposed to pronounce differently than the way they're supposed to. Anyway, good to have you in there, Frank. That was Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. Anybody else north or east?
WB0NOO, Mark in Northwest Wilson.
All right, Mark. Hey, thanks for hanging in there. We've made the net long, very long. Doing all right?
Doing good. Yeah, I remember moving to Atlanta, and they had DeKalb County, I think it was. But when in Iowa, where I lived, we had DeKalb Grain. and they were spelled the same.
How do they pronounce it in Georgia?
DeKalb.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. They do pronounce that DeKalb. That's funny. But it is DeKalb other places, I'm sure.
Yep. It is in Lafayette and Lafayette. That's always been a bit confusing. Not sure which is right.
The people who live there seem to call it Lafayette. I'll go with that.
Right. So it was General Lafayette that is named after?
I'm not even sure that's true, but in French, I don't think it's pronounced Lafayette in French, is it? It's Lafayette.
Well, I lived in Lafayette, Indiana, and it wasn't Lafayette there. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you call it when you're there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying is it's whatever the locals call it is what's correct. And you go down to the city hall and ask them where you are, and they'll tell you, I'm sure. Anyway, that was Mark. He's in Northwest Wilson near the Weather Bureau. West Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar Oscar. Any other ones before we move on quickly?
Alpha 4 Delta Echo, Daniel Mount Juliet.
Oh, you hung in there a long time there, Daniel. Everything all right?
I'm going great here. Thank you very much.
Very good. That's Daniel here in Mount Juliet. Alpha 4 Delta Echo. Anybody else before we move on, east or north?
KM4KXA, Robert in Goodlettsville, on my J-pole.
Ah, very good. A proud J-pole owner, Robert. Very good. Who else? I think I heard somebody else in there. Who was in there next to Robert?
W3 JCH, Justin.
Ah, very good, Justin. Good to have you in there. Whiskey 3 Juliet Charlie Hotel. And we had Robert in, I believe Robert's in Goodlettsville, correct? KN4KXA.
Roger that, Robert in Goodlettsville, on the J-pole.
Yeah, no, it's doing good. How high up is that J-pole?
About 15 feet.
Yeah, you must have a nice elevation.
Yeah, that's got a pretty good spot for it, I think.
Just think how good it would be if you had an antenna that had more than 1.1 gain.
Well, there's something wrong with this one.
No, to me it's fine. I'm saying from your standpoint, though, how far you would, I think you'd be surprised at how much further you hear. Of course, you have to spend money to get there, but if you're happy with what you got, I wouldn't suggest you do anything.
Well, best price in town on that antenna. Got it for free.
Oh, I agree. I did the same thing. I think of the first J-pole I built. No, the first J-pole I got for free. You're right. And then I built a 96-inch tall, what they call a super J-pole, and that just made it bigger, so I had a lot more people that couldn't hear me.
Well, you never know. You know what they say, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
No, I know. I'm just joking about it. I'll tell you the story another time about what I came to a conclusion about J-poles this past week. Anyway, that was Robert in darn. Just said where it was. He's up in Gallatin. That's where it is. KN4KXA. And we had Justin here in Justin here in Mount Juliet, right?
Nope, I'm up here in Gallatin too.
Oh, that's right. How can I forget that? Yeah, you got a good signal though. Whiskey 3 Juliet Charlie Hotel. You're doing fine. What are you using again?
Got an ICOM ID 4100A, sitting in the pickup truck with a glass mount Tram 1480, I believe is the model. Pass-through glass antenna.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about it. No, it's doing good. It just must be in a good location. I also have a glass mount on my one car, and it isn't all that good. I mean, generally, it's okay for close-in stuff, but not very good for, getting over hills and mountains.
Hey, I'll take it. I think we're in a good spot. I can hear you actually very well this evening compared to most nights.
Well, very good. That's Justin in Gallatin, Whiskey 3 Juliet Charlie Hotel. Anybody else east or north?
Oh, man. Forest Q, Tim in Hendersonville.
Hey, Tim, give me your call one more time.
Kilo Uniform 4 X-Ray Quebec.
Ah, very good. You had a comment in there, Michael.
Not me, Paul.
Oh, there was a comment in there.
WB40. The gentleman that had a J-pole, he's coming in nice and solid in the southern part of Smyrna.
Ah, very good. Southern Smyrna is hearing you fine up there, Justin.
Smyrna.
Oh no, I was saying that. Well, yeah, it's Smyrna. That was Robert with the J pole. Is that who you're talking about, or you're talking about the guy with the through glass antenna?
No, with the JPO, he was coming in 100% down here in the southern part of Smyrna.
Ah, very good. That Robert, I don't think you heard that, didn't you?
Roger that. I could hear most of it.
Yeah, very good. He can hear you just fine down in Smyrna. So it's making a good trip, 10 miles farther south of me or so. And we had Tim in there. You doing all right, Tim? I haven't heard from you in a little while.
Oh yeah, man, we're getting by. Just work and same old garbage. Thought I'd turn this thing out. Decided to come out here and get in the shack and see what was going on. I remembered it was Wednesday night. Luckily, y'all are still going at it. So I ain't got nothing. 73. Appreciate you doing what you do. KU4SQ, Tim in Hendersonville.
Yeah, very good, Tim in Hendersonville. So you got over the COVID okay?
Oh yeah, man, doing fine. Still got some lung issues, but it's man, I've known so many people that have this stuff. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, apparently couldn't make it across the river to Mount Juliet.
Yeah, I tried to stay in the house. I just stay in the shack.
No, I'm just saying the COVID didn't make it across the river.
Oh yeah, lucky you. Yeah, it's I'm ready, man. Give me the shot. I'll take it right now. I don't ever want this stuff again, ever. I'll take it. I'll take 3 or 4 of them.
No, I hear you. That's why I have for many years gotten a regular flu shot, because I've had the flu and I never want it again. A bad flu. Don't want it again.
Yeah, and it's really sucky. All of the Christmas plans with my mom. My dad died this year of a lung disease, so we're scared to go around my mom, and it's just a hassle. I'm just ready for it to be over.
Yeah, I'm having this feeling. I talked to my brother a couple of days ago, and I haven't seen him in at least a year, and maybe long. He lives up in Western New York, and he goes, "Well, when you coming up?" I go, and we were just, I said, "Well, I don't know. Maybe next." He goes, "Yeah, 2021, maybe the middle of the year." I said, "Maybe." And I'm thinking, how I can't. I'm going to be afraid to hug my own brother.
Oh yeah, we've done decided. My whole family sometime, maybe Easter or somewhere between there and 4th of July, all the stuff dies down. We're going to have a humdinger of a party.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I mean, this is a really weird time in lives. I'm kind of. I'm glad in the sense, I had my mother and my mother-in-law living with us, and they passed away last year in May of in 2019. I'm glad they weren't alive for this period, just because it would have been more confining to them. I couldn't have taken them out anywhere.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I understand completely. Yeah, my dad passed end of January, so it came quick. So it was. I'm glad he didn't have to suffer through this.
Yeah, very good. That's Tim in Hendersonville, Kilo Uniform 4 X-Ray Quebec, and he is almost fully recovered from the COVID, which is good to hear. Hate to hear anybody getting it. It sounds like it's a bad thing. Who else? Anybody else east or north or late chicken? Anybody else? We already surpassed the legal limit here over 40. We had 42 check-ins. My count is. I could be wrong, but I don't think I have. 6 or 7, 8, yeah, 42. Anybody else? Lollygaggers, lurkers, or sandbaggers? No SDR donglers or scanner listeners? All righty. No preppers and no end-time survivalists? No members of the Bofang Collectors Club?
Killing me.
Well, I try to cover all the bases here. Any pirate radio stations, please come in. All right, very good. Well, yeah, that's a banner night for the net at 42. Our average is hanging in around mid 30s. I don't keep a running total. I keep a total every month or every week or every time we do the net, but I don't. I haven't really done the average. I just know it routinely is now between somewhere. Sometimes it's been as low as 26 or 27 in the past few months, and it's been as high as 38 or 40 in that range. So I just do is figure the average is around 34, 35, and here we are at 42. So I appreciate all the check-ins. Anybody else want to check in before I go over to 10 meters? Very good. Closing out the net. We're running long. Hold on one second. Somehow I must have hit the mouse. I thought I wanted to leave the live feed. All right, we're moving over to 28.415. We'll catch you then. Appreciate everybody who checked in. It was a fun night. K4P then. All right, this is K4PW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. I'm trying to be fast because we already ate up an hour and whatever. Here, an hour and 20 minutes. Had fun, though. That's 42 check-ins. This is K4PW. Looking for check-ins from the west. Please come down.
KM4YRF, Mike and Belshire.
All righty, we got Cam4YRF, Michael and Belshire. Who else, west? Ah, very good. I got you in there, Jeff. Sound good. A little low, but a good copy. Who else is west?
KG4ILC, Jack and Donaldson.
Ah, very good, Jack. Thanks for hanging in there through a long 2-meter net. Who else is west? That's Kilo Go for India Lima Victor. Who else west? All right, we got Kilo Go for Charlie X-Ray Echo Chris in Donaldson as well. Who else is west? Anybody else west? Copying anybody out there, Michael?
Nobody here.
Yeah, where'd Rick go?
Oh, I was supposed to text me.
Oh, what, does he fall asleep?
It may be so.
All right, well, let him know. Hey, he's willing to take him in, even if he is a lollygagger. Who else is west or south?
Kilo 4 Oscar Fox Oscar.
Yeah, appreciate you being in there, Donnie. You sound good. I thought that net was fun. I don't know. It was good because I went a whole week without doing a net. It was like withdrawal.
Well, that'll help sometimes. You'll make it through.
Oh yeah. Well, good to have you in there. It's Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot Oscar. Donnie in the Hermitage. Who else is south? West or south?
W0GZR, Mark in Nashville, 9/11.
All right, Mark in Nashville, Smashville. And that might be Felonville. Is that better?
That's fine with me.
Very good. Whiskey Zero Golf Zulu Romeo Mark. And that's actually Nashville. We don't want to be too nasty here. Nastyville, that's it. Who else is wherever I was, west or south? Was that KN4TJF?
That's correct. It's Rick in Ashland City.
Ah, very good. Apparently your brother got a hold of you.
He did.
Very good. That's Rick in Ashland City. Kilo November 4, Tango Juliet Foxtrot. Who else is west or south? Can anybody hear something I can't? I hear somebody in there. Well, then over to the east. If anybody east, please come down. Yeah, it's in there, Earl. Sound good. Audio is a little low, but copyable. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Who else is east? East or north? I got you in there, Mark, and there was somebody else in their little weaker station. That's Mark in Northwest Wilson, Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar Oscar. Who was the other station? Was there another east station? Was there another north station?
KV9 or KK.
You didn't hear anything in there, did you, Frank?
Yeah, right when you started talking, you doubled with them.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and I realized the mistake there. So is that station still in there? Ah, W4TFZ, Kerry, got you in there. Conditions are a little weak for you tonight. All right, very good. I got you in there. A little low on the signal, but I am able to copy you, Kerry. That's Whiskey 4 Tango Foxtrot Zulu Kerry down in Baird's Mill. If anybody else, let's see, I finished up with south and east and north, those three locations. Ah, very good. What are you using for 10 meters there, Robert?
7300 on a 21-foot vertical.
Ah, very good. 21-foot vertical for 10 meters. Fantastic. That's Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo X-Ray Alpha, Robert in Goodlettsville. And who else is north or east or west or late chickens? Ooh, that's a low audio. Hold on, let me turn it up before you say again. Say again, please. One more time. Is anybody copying that at all?
Only thing I heard was Mount Juliet.
Whoever that is, let's give it one more shot. Oh boy, I could hear it, but I couldn't make it out. I'm sorry. Spell it out phonetically. Can you do that? I think I heard the hotel in there. Who is, I'm not sure who that is though.
Hotel Whiskey Romeo.
Oh, is that KC6HWR?
Affirmative, he said, came in RTK.
All right, very good. Yeah, that was pretty weak. I'm glad you relayed that for me there. I finally realized I kind of could hear the voice, so I kind of knew who it was. Very good. That's KC Kilo Charlie 6 Hotel Whiskey Romeo, and that is Darcy up there in Cottontown. Very low signal. I got to figure out what you got to do to make that bigger. Anybody else late check-ins? Please come on. Got nothing. Well, let me back up and we'll go backwards. We got KC6HWR Darcy in Cottontown, Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo X-Ray Alpha, Robert in Goodlettsville. We got Carrie, Whiskey 4, Tango Foxtrot Zulu in Baird's Mill, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo Frank here in Northwest Mount Juliet, Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar Mark in Northwest Wilson, Kilo Echo 4, Delta Echo Zulu Earl. And we got Rick, Kilo November 4, Tango Juliet Foxtrot in Ashland City. Mark, Whiskey 0, Golf Zulu Romeo in Nashville. Donnie, Kilo 4, Oscar Foxtrot Oscar. And we've got Chris over in Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4, Charlie X-Ray Echo. And Jack, Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, also in Donaldson. Jeff, Whiskey Yankee 4, Golf in Madison. And Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Michael in Belshire, and me, K4PEW, Paul and Mount Juliet. I didn't get a count, but it's got to be 12 maybe. I'll let you know in 5 seconds.
14, Paul.
So you got something to shoot for.
Yes, I do.
It was a big night on both sides, wasn't it? Anyway, appreciate all the check-ins. I'm glad y'all could hang out for an hour and 28, almost 29 minutes. So I'm going to close the net right now, and we can chat on another time. K4PW. And again, thanks for all the check-ins. I hope you heard something or heard stations you didn't hear before. K4PW, 73 guys.
73, Paul. Thanks for what you do. K4 Wire Mike, you still here? I am. Okay, that's